Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast, where we're always busy having fun down here on Level 1. Today is Friday, the 26th of May, 2023, and I welcome you wholeheartedly to my stream and, of course, the podcast on demand. How is everyone today? I hope you're having a great weekend so far as we head into the home stretch. And what I mean by that is that it is time for us to prepare for the imminent release of Street Fighter 6, a game that we have eagerly been awaiting a very, very long time at this point. It comes out exactly 1 week from today, June 2nd. And that means this week is the final push and blitz heading towards the release of the game, trying to get as far as I can into all the games I'm playing. In fact, today I have a major schedule update for all of you, okay? So that you know what's going on. Yes, the schedule has completely shifted based on the fact that, number one, we did complete my playthrough of Oblivion yesterday, which was very fun to see the ending. Actually, I did enjoy the ending, which is good. I was a little nervous because the DLC, as well as most of the endgame story, was not very good, but the final ending was actually quite good, and I liked how it concluded. And this is now going to free up streams for the next week for us to focus on more stuff, which I'm totally okay. Focusing in on completing as much as we can. And let's talk about that in a moment as we get to the schedule, all right? But it's going to be exciting. This week, I'm sure there's going to be tons of hype and everything all built up for their imminent release of Street Fighter 6 and all the content that it's going to come out of it on this channel. You know, I'm going to be playing the single-player story mode. I'm going to be playing all the characters in training mode and then going into multiplayer and trying them there. I'm sure there's going to be so much content coming out of the game that everyone's excited, except for people who don't like fighting games, which I understand. Street Fighter 6 will be a focus on this channel for a bit, and then we'll go back to the usual, variety style stuff. But for a few days, definitely it will be the huge focus of DSPGaming, okay? So, I'm definitely excited for that, and that means that in order to prepare for that, we have to get through as much as we can and not have a ton of lingering games. Right now, we currently have a few games that are remaining. We have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. And, kind of sat down and looked at all of these games to figure out which I could get the furthest in. And it really looks to me like the one that we could likely complete by next week is Star Wars, for multiple different reasons. The game has, sadly, degraded to the point where I actually don't even really want to do side content anymore. We'll talk about that, though. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on the Star Wars playthrough on today's show. So we're going to talk about an updated schedule and, all the hype coming up to Street Fighter 6. We got a little bit of game news today. A little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. There's a few different stories I want to talk about today. A follow-up on the story about Gollum yesterday. And a few more, news stories that popped up here and there to talk about, and we'll go from there, okay? So, all right. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well. This morning, I came into the office. I sat down. I was like, let's get the show started. And just as I'm turning on the stream, I open my seltzer, and it goes, explodes like a geyser everywhere. It's wild cherry seltzer here. And it just explodes everywhere. So to clean up a little bit, happens sometimes. You got to be careful with carbonated beverages. Sometimes they overcarbonate them, and then they just, there's nothing you can do when you open it. It's going to go everywhere. But outside of that, I'm having a good morning so far. Actually, it's supposed to be really hot here in Washington again today, into the 80s, I believe. Let's take a look. Yep, it is going to be in the 80s today. Good news is after today, it's going to be like 70s and then even 60s. So it's not a long-standing heat, but it's one day it's going to be very hot. So we have all the air conditioning pumping in the house already. So you're going to hear that. You're going to hear going on and off during the course of the stream. I'm excited to jump back into Zelda today because last time around we were actually enjoying and having good progress, and then because of the extenuating circumstances and the stupid bullshit that happened back on Tuesday, I had to cut short my stream by a whole hour, and it really did feel like we didn't really get as far as we would have liked, right? Like, it felt like we were just having a good time exploring and everything, and then it's just like, just gets cut short out of nowhere. It's annoying. So I'm happy to do a full stream of Zelda with you guys today. It should be hopefully nice, laid-back, chill vibes today. As you know, when I play Zelda, it is open world, exploration, and fun, and you guys usually give me your opinions on, hey, you should do this, check this out, right? And it usually works out really well. So I'm excited for that. And tonight, obviously, Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, which, again, was supposed to be Tuesday night, and we ended up not doing. I would love to hang out and do that with you tonight if you could come back for the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. I think you should definitely check that out, too. That's going to be a great, relaxing stream. Even though we're in the end game, it's getting tougher. All right? It should be a good time. All right? So, there you go. Where to start? I'm trying to think, where do I even start today? Do we just go right into the schedule? Game news will wait. We'll do that after all my housekeeping stuff. What do you think? Oh, I should say this. As you know, every month I change my setup behind me here on camera. And this month coming up, and to honor the release of Street Fighter 6, there will be some Street Fighter related things. How about that? Yes, there will actually be some Street Fighter related stuff for the new setup starting next week. It's funny because the 31st of May is my day off next week, and then the 1st of June is Thursday, and that'll be a perfect opportunity to refresh everything here, right? And it's going to be some Street Fighter related things. It's going to be a little different. The way I'm going to set it up, I'm going to, put a little bit of effort into making it look a little different than usual. I'm curious how it's going to turn out because I got to mess with it basically on my day off, but we'll see. But I'm excited for that. And we'll have a nice fighting game themed month, all right, in the month of June. Since, again, Street Fighter 6 really is the giant prominent release of the first 2 to 3 weeks of the month. I would say until Final Fantasy 16 comes out, and then everyone's going to be into that. But that's definitely the big prominent release for me, so. Okay. All right. So, I think it's time. Let's just go right into the schedule, right? What are we dilly-dallying for? So today's, this week's schedule, I should say. Today, Level 1 podcast, followed by Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, open world exploration, great chill stream, and then tonight on the late stream, Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, as we continue into the end game. We're in the third and final portion of the story. We've already done the first of 4 major dungeons in this part, and we'll continue tonight and see where the plot takes us, okay? Tomorrow is Saturday. Saturday is React Day. So tomorrow is DSP versus the Internet over on DSP Reacts, where I'm going to be reacting to all the clips that the channel members over there have submitted over the course of the week. Last couple of weeks have been quite good, I would say. With the variety of clips that have been submitted, the shows have actually been better than they had been maybe the previous month, where we were getting a lot of repetition. So I'm actually excited to see where this goes tomorrow. I hope you'll join me over on DSP Reacts, 12:45 p.m. Pacific time, for a 3-hour React show that we do every single week. And by the way, if you're interested in that kind of content and you want to be someone who gets to suggest the videos that I watch every week, head over to DSP Reacts. That's youtube.com/@DSP Reacts. And become a member. Members are the people who get to submit those videos every single week. Okay? If you become an Ultra member, I'm guaranteed to watch your video on the show. There you go. Okay. And then tomorrow night, here's the deal. Because I beat Oblivion last night, we now have open night streams. And what I'm going to do is do a full court press to finish Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So first let me go through the schedule, then let me explain to you why we're doing this, okay? So tomorrow, Saturday night, right here on DSPGaming, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. Sunday, daytime streams will be the Level 1 podcast, followed by Star Wars Jedi Survivor on the first stream, and there will be more Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster on the late stream. Monday, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on the first stream, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor on the late stream. And then Tuesday, the final consecutive streaming day of the week, okay? It will be, yes, Star Wars Jedi Survivor and the hopeful conclusion of the playthrough on Tuesday. And Tuesday night will be more Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, and that's the streaming week because Wednesday's my day off. Now, why on earth am I playing Star Wars every single day for the next 4 days? And, you know, that's a lot of gameplay. If you do the math, it's about 10 hours of gameplay. So what gives? Well, first of all, just so you guys know, we are currently about 26 to 27 hours into the Star Wars playthrough, okay? If you do all the content in Star Wars, it's about a 40-hour game. So here's what's happened. As you know, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a unique... Man, how can I say? It's a hot mess. I actually think that's the best description of the game, because the gameplay elements are very sound. The combat is fun. The platforming and puzzles and exploration aspect of the game is absolutely interesting and cool and great and well executed. I like the different worlds and the variety there, and the story is engaging. So why on earth am I saying it's a hot mess? Because the game is one of the worst optimized games I've ever seen on a modern console. It runs like shit. The frame rate constantly dipping, going up and down like this to the point where I have multiple viewers telling me they're getting sick trying to watch the playthrough because the frame rate goes like this so badly, it makes them sick to their stomachs. That's not good, okay? The game frequently has game bugs and crashes. Just to give you an example. So yesterday, here I am streaming the game. We find an optional Jedi temple. These are optional side dungeons that take roughly anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to complete. It's a series of puzzles inside of a dungeon, and once you solve them, you get a big upgrade. Usually it's like a really good piece of equipment, or it's a really good upgrade to an ability, or it's a really good, you know, something good. So I spent about 20 to 25 minutes doing the puzzle. We're at the very end. I'm at the tail end of solving this puzzle. All I gotta do is open the final door, and I'm brainstorming, and we're doing it, and we're almost there. As we're brainstorming and about to possibly go for the final attempt, the whole game crashes. Just freezes my console. Well, not freezes the console, but the game freezes. Close the game, reopen the game. The game loads me outside the temple. Auto-saved absolutely nothing whatsoever, as if I had never touched the temple. Start over from scratch. And I'm like, what incentive do I have in this game to actually do this? By the way, this was the second time the game had done that to me. The game had done this before earlier, where I'd gone to a story-based area, explored for 25 minutes, and then the game again crashed and went back and never saved anything along the way. So, what incentive would I ever have to say, oh, I want to go explore, and I want to do all the optional side content, when the game is so unstable, it could erase a half an hour of progress at a time? That's not fun. That's a terrible gameplay experience. And by the way, I paid $70. Okay, take that back. It was like $67 because I got the EA, EA Access discount or whatever on Xbox. But I paid a lot of money for this game, and this game is a mess, okay? And then on top of that, then I'm continuing on with my gameplay yesterday, and I'm at a part of the story where there's like a giant laser beam, and I accidentally drop into it. I get hurt, it vaporizes me. I respawn. When I respawn, the game fails to load any of the textures of the outfit I'm wearing. So you see Cal's head and hand and pants, but his entire torso and arms are completely transparent, and it doesn't fix itself. Like, I'm going to the save point and refreshing. It doesn't ever fix itself. It's just fucked up. I might reload the game tomorrow night, and it might still be transparent, you know? It's just a mess. It's like, listen, I like the game. I'm so sad to have to treat it like this. I like the game. but I can't continuously give this game any kind of full-time attention when the game is not worth it. The game is a unfinished, unpolished, buggy piece of crap. And it's sad because all these elements come together and it's like, this element's really good, this element's really good, this element's really good. So it's like 75% of the dev team did an amazing job and 25% did a horrible job. And somehow whoever was the head of the project didn't put it all together to see that the game wasn't ready to be released. And it's sad. It's a mess, okay? So I really am upset about it. I am. I like the game, but I'm like, listen, of all the games I'm playing right now, this is the one we've got to get through. Let's get this done before all the new releases, notably Street Fighter 6, hit next week. And that way, it's out of the way, and we can move on to the other stuff, okay? So, that's why I'm playing Jedi Survivor Saturday night, Sunday daytime, Monday night, Tuesday daytime. And by the way, like I said, I am absolutely not going to be going into any optional dungeons. I'm not really going to be doing significant amount of exploration. All I'm going to try to do is get through the story of the game at this point. I feel like that's the best course of action. I don't see the point in spending a ton of extra time exploring all around, doing optional stuff, when the game's going to keep crashing, going to keep having issues. I just want to get through it and finish it, so that way we can focus on other stuff. So that's why. So if you do the math, it's about 10 more hours that I'm going to be playing this game in the next 5 days, to wrap it up. Hopefully, if I hit like 36, 37 hour point of gameplay, that'll be it. I'll be able to beat it if I'm not going off the beaten path to do the side content. So, sorry to those who've been enjoying the playthrough and wanted to see me continue to fully explore everything. At this point, you know, I've been playing this game for over 3 weeks. It's been almost a month. You know, I held off on playing it for about half a week, waiting for patches. The game has been patched 4 to 5 times and still runs like shit. I have no confidence they're ever going to fix it at this point. Let me tell you something. If there's ever been a shoo-in for a game to make my most disappointing games of the year countdown, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is like the textbook definition. A game with incredible amounts of potential. Incredible. And if it was implemented properly, would have probably been one of my top games of the year. But because this team got this game out completely unfinished, what a horrendous disappointment. Especially for Star Wars, too. Star Wars deserves better. You know? Really pathetic. Anyway, yeah. Now, here's the thing. I am well aware that many of you don't care about Star Wars. Just to give you some perspective on this, yesterday's Star Wars gameplay that I uploaded to the channel, most of the videos have nearly no views. Like, no one really cares about this playthrough anymore. I don't blame you. For a game that's been a broken mess and they never fixed it, and the fact that anyone who wanted to kind of play the game rushed through it and beat it fast, and everyone else dropped it. Like, I personally, my wife and I were watching 1 to 2 people who were playing this game. They all quit. They said, fuck this. They didn't like how the game was performing and said, I'm just not playing it anymore. And they literally all dropped the game. So almost no one has a complete playthrough of this game out right now. I guess I'll be one of the few, even though, again, I'm not going to be taking my time with the side content. It just kind of sucks because, you know, I am putting a lot of time into it this week, 10 hours to finish the game. And right now, the videos I uploaded yesterday don't even have 200 views on them. No one cares about Star Wars. Sad. But it is what it is. I'm finishing it. All right? I'm finishing this game. And I know that means 4 streams coming up the next week. But if you're not interested, hey, I do other variety. Like I said, I'll be doing Zelda. I'll be doing Final Fantasy. There's other content coming. It's not just all about Star Wars all week. I hope that you'll check out the other stuff. Okay? So that's the schedule for the week. When I come back from my break, that Thursday will be probably more Zelda and Final Fantasy. And then Friday is the big release of Street Fighter 6. I'll be playing Street Fighter 6 a ton. The first 2 days, that Friday and Saturday, so June 2nd and 3rd, will be all Street Fighter 6. It'll probably be a mix of trying new characters, going online, and trying out the story mode. And then that React day will be pushed today. Usually my React content is on Saturdays. This week, or that week, not this week, but the week after will be Sunday. So that way I have a couple days with Street Fighter 6. And then there's going to be a lot more Street Fighter 6 around there. Now, the question really that I have to figure out, and you guys I know will help me figure this out. Should I play Diablo 4? First, it's a question of should I play it at all? Because it comes out on June. It's either 5th or 6th. I get them confused. Or the other part is, should I play it but wait? Because here's the thing. Number one, I'm still going to have Zelda. I'm still going to have Final Fantasy, and I'm playing Street Fighter 6. That's going to be 3 games. Does it really make sense to toss in Diablo 4 at exactly the same time? In addition, later on in June, we've got Final Fantasy 16. And I hate to say it, but I really do feel that my audience is more aiming and catered towards Final Fantasy than it is Diablo. And some people have actually said it makes more sense to focus on Final Fantasy. Do Street Fighter for like 2.5 weeks, focus on the other games, juggle for variety, and then start playing Final Fantasy, and that'll be your month, as opposed to Diablo. So the thing is, listen, I like Diablo 1 and 2. I thought they were amazing games back in the day. I got addicted to them on PC. I played the shit out of Diablo 2. I loved it, okay? Diablo 3, I was very hyped for. Came out, played it, it was a dud. I don't think that it was as good as Diablo 1 or 2, nor did my audience. My YouTube audience hated it at the time, but keep in mind, Diablo 3 was over a decade ago, a very long time ago. It was a different time, different kind of content. I wasn't a live interactive streamer, wasn't even doing direct capture. These were all factors, okay? So, when I look at Diablo 4, alright, I just kind of like, I'm confused. I don't know, should I do it or not? Is it going to fit into my content? Are people going to want to watch it or not? How am I going to do it when I'm juggling so much else already? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's going to be really, really tough to juggle everything at once. You know? And just take a look at the chat right now. People are already divided. Some people are like, you should play Diablo 4. We want Diablo 4, do it. And other people are like, nah, hold off and just focus on everything else. Like, it's a split. It's definitely a split within my viewership. So, it's hard to judge what to do. I feel like if I play Diablo 4, it's going to be all about Street Fighter and Diablo 4, and anything else I'm playing, like Zelda or whatever, is going to be forgotten. Really. That's what I feel. I feel like people are not going to care. And Zelda's a 100-hour game, you know? And we're, what, 20 hours in, if that? We are 18 hours in. You know, today we'll be 21 hours in. I kind of feel like it's going to end up that games are just going to be forgotten and dropped. And I don't like doing that. You guys know that. I don't like doing that. But maybe we have to. I don't know what else to say. Let's think about it. Okay, we basically have a little over a week, I believe. Again, I think Diablo 4 comes out the 6th, but the 5th in some territories. It's very confusing, the timing of it, the way that they did it. We're going to at least have like 3 days of Street Fighter 6 before we even consider Diablo 4. But let's look. I'm going to look here and listen. Look here, listen to what you're saying all week, okay? And so I'll take in your feedback. We'll figure out what you guys want, and we'll try to balance everything properly. You know, again, I know I can't please everyone. You can only please some people at once. You can't please everyone at once. So I'm going to see what we can do here and go from there. Fair enough? Okay. See? Interesting opinions in the chat, and I'm looking at everyone's opinions, and everyone seems to be split in different directions. Okay, cool. All right, so there you have it. Now, what else? Well, it doesn't look like we're going to have a long-form special event in June, because we're going to have one the first weekend of July. It's going to be my Independence Weekend Bash. Of course, I don't know if that's what we're calling it. I think what we should start doing, let's brainstorm a name for it. Once we get a name, then I can start advertising it. So it's going to be that first weekend of July. It's probably going to be Sunday, July 2nd. It's going to be a marathon. It's going to include gameplay, likely food that my wife will make, as well as a tier maker element. We're going to do all this kind of stuff, okay? But the question here really is, what should we name it, and what kind of stuff do you want in it? And the thing is, already, I would love to do, like, some classic gaming in this thing, because I wanted to do some classic gaming for a while. But at the same time, perhaps if Street Fighter 6 is a hit, you guys would want to see me do some special, like, runs with a certain character in Street Fighter 6. Or maybe you'd like to see something completely different. I don't know. So what I mean, we have a whole month to think this through and figure it out. So, let's start brainstorming, shall we? Let's start thinking about a name. It'll be that weekend before Independence Day, so you could call it the Independence Weekend, or, see, we're not going to call it 4th of July, because it's not happening on the 4th of July, so it doesn't make sense to call it the 4th of July, but we could call it the Independence Weekend event, or something like that. Or even if you didn't want to even do it like that, you could call it a summer event. You could call it, like, the Summer Bash. We could change it. Actually, you know what? Maybe that makes more sense. Rather than calling it the Independence Day, yes, I like this idea better. Let's do like a summer event, Summer Bash or something, because that way, because some people will be like, well, It's not Independence Day for us. We don't live in the United States. You're right. Instead of Independence Day, why don't we do like a summertime event, summer bash or something like that? Okay? I think that makes more sense, actually. So, and that way, we'll have food, fun, but what will we actually do, during the course of the event? Let's talk about it. Let's discuss this over the course of the next month. Let's take about a week or two to discuss the specifics, and then we'll lock it in, and then we'll start, promoting and advertising and getting excited for it. Okay? Cool. So that's the next long-form event, that first weekend of July. There will not be another long-form React this month. It kind of makes sense anyway to not do one, being that it's going to have so many new releases to focus on. At the same time, this month coming up, I am planning on possibly doing some extra videos over on DSP Reacts that will be fighting game related. I actually think I want to do a tier maker around the middle of the month for Street Fighter characters and rank them against each other. But in addition to that, I also think I want to do some reviews this month. What I'd like to do is actually review some of my favorite movies ever. So maybe I'll be reviewing a movie like Clue or Ghostbusters or The Goonies or an action movie like Terminator 2 or something like that. I have to see what's available on my on-demand video services that I have. But I'd like to watch some of my favorite movies of all time and actually do like summary reviews for you to let you know why I think these are some of the best movies ever made. So it might be like a summer of good movies over on DSP Reacts, where once a week I review a good movie from my past that I really enjoy. I think that would be some good variety content over there. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. Good. So, that is what I have to talk about there. Outside of that, thank you all for a great start to the week yesterday. Let's keep that momentum going. Please continue to support my streams in any way that you can. Whether it's as simple as coming here and giving the stream a like and engaging in the chat, that works well, and that's a great way to give this channel engagement on YouTube. But if you'd like to go above and beyond that, there's many ways you could do so, including a super chat or a super sticker live on stream, a membership or gifted membership. Right now, we had over 100 memberships expire. I think it was some crazy amount, like 150. All expired on my day off, all right? So that's why we went from almost 800 members all the way down to 630. Now would be a great time if you were thinking of supporting the community as a whole, gifting some memberships. People would absolutely appreciate that. A lot of people have expired memberships that they would hope to get renewed. So consider supporting in that way. It's a great way to help out everyone, okay? Or if you're interested in seeing the goals hit every stream, consider tipping. As you know, we do all kind of themed goals with tips. If I raise $50 in tips, I put on a pair of Gunner glasses. If I raise $100 in tips, I put on a hat of your choice. We now have the Ryu headband from the Fight and Feast Marathon in that rotation. But in addition, we have so many hats. The straw hat, the beret, the cowboy hat, the Los Santos cap, the red fedora. That's just a few. Freaking Pikachu hat, Viking hat, Bender hat, all these different hats that are available to be worn if we hit our tips goal of $100. And of course, if we happen to hit a $150 goal, which is rare when we do, I doubt that now that the streak is over of that, week and a half lasting, we're probably not going to be hitting the $150 goal very often, just being honest. But we have a ton of vests as well, all different kinds of colors, even one that looks like Marty McFly, a denim vest, all kinds of stuff. Good, interesting, fun, and it makes me look dumb, but that's the whole point. People like to see me look stupid. It's funny. So please consider tipping if you'd like to help out with those goals, and that, of course, helps the channel as well. Okay? Fair enough? Sound good? All right. I have some news stories to get to today. Let's do some follow-up news, shall we? So let's see here. Our first news story is a follow-up to yesterday's story about the Lord of the Rings Gollum releasing as a broken, horrible mess. Everyone says the game is crap. It looks like crap. It plays like crap. It's full of bugs. It's full of crashes. The platforming is incredibly wonky. The gameplay is misrepresentative of how they advertised the game, where they said it was going to be this epic stealth game with all these dialogue choices, and in reality, it's just a mess. It's a broken piece of garbage. It's $50 or $60, but then they even have microtransactions in it that apparently add dialogue to the game. I'm serious. Like, apparently Gollum never says "my precious" unless you buy a microtransaction. That adds it to the game. I wish I was making that up, but I found that out this morning. So, this morning, the game developers released an apology. Yes, it's official. The game developers released an apology stating they're sorry the game doesn't live up to expectations and they will do their best to improve it. And it's hilarious now because this is what? The fourth or fifth major apology we got from a game dev this year. We just had one with Redfall. We just had one with Resident Evil 4 Remake that released on PC and ran like shit. It seems like every game that releases now, they already pre-wrote an apology for the game, knowing that it's going to suck. And I guess the question here is, is this the future of game development, right? Is it? Is this just what we're going to see? Every single game releases, and it runs like shit, and it's broken, and it's unacceptable that games are released in that state, but we're forced to pay the full price, be the game testers, and then these game developers will slowly release patches after the fact. And the question really is, what enabled this? Because it didn't used to be like that, right? What enabled this culture of release a game broken, obviously unfinished, and then fix it after the fact? How do we get to this point? There were no live game patches back in the day. Whatever game was on the disc is what you got, and that's what you played. So if it was a broken mess, people rated your game poorly, and that was the end of it. Today, it seems like what happens is, because you have some of these games where there's these Cinderella stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Rainbow Six Siege. That game, when it released, was a piece of dog shit. And then after about a year, they completely revamped it, fixed it, and now it's better. Final Fantasy XIV. Here's an MMO that released like dog shit. Everyone hated it. Then they had The Realm Reborn, and all of a sudden everyone loved it, and it's a Cinderella story of success. What about No Man's Sky? A game that completely overpromised and underdelivered, but over the course of like 4 or 5 years, Sean Murray delivers the game he promised. And it's, again, these stories, okay, are the exception to the rule. These are not the rule. These are the rarities, the situations where a game sucked ass, and somehow they managed to monstrously improve that game over the years to become a hit. But the problem is, it seems like every game dev is now riding on those coattails, saying we can just rush release a game out there, and if it's good, great, and if it's not, we don't care, we'll fix it later. That's an insanely bad attitude to have. And I hate to say it, it's very, very counterproductive in the games industry and to the consumer, right? It really is. Like, I'm sorry, but why do we want to see a game released unfinished, broken, and then you fix it later when we paid for it now? I've made this analogy before. Do you go to the car dealer, buy a new car, drive it off the lot, and it falls apart in the middle of the street right outside the lot, and they say, oh, we're sorry about that. In about 3 weeks, we'll ship you all the parts, and you'll have a complete car that you can use. If you go to the restaurant and you order a delicious chicken parmesan, right? Do they put the meal down and all you have is half of a chicken breast with ketchup instead of tomato sauce and like a slab of American cheese melted on it, and they say, we're sorry, this is not representative of what the final product will be. If you wait about a month and come back, we'll actually give you the chicken parmesan that you ordered and paid for today. Right? No, none of that happens. But in the games industry, for some odd reason, we accept this. As consumers, we pay full price up front, and then we accept the fact that we get a bad, broken product, and we like, oh, as long as they fix it in the long term. Why do we accept that? Right? Why? Why don't we put our foot down and demand the product today that we paid for? I just don't understand this mentality. But what you're doing by allowing these game developers to do this is you're enabling bad behavior. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is, the consumer should not be punished or blamed because we didn't do this. It's the games industry culture. And in reality, you might say, well, it's the game developer's fault. I actually don't believe that. It's the managers, it's the publishers, it's those people in charge running the projects who are having these issues. If you're in charge of a major game and you greenlight its release and the game is a buggy mess at launch, you shouldn't be in charge of a game. You should be unemployed because you're not a leader. You're an idiot. And all you care about is the bottom line and making that money on sales day rather than actually putting out a good product for the consumer. And you shouldn't be in any position of power. You understand? But these people are all like this now. Like, how many games this year? Let's be honest. Literally, let's think. Callisto Protocol ran like shit. Dead Space ran like shit. Resident Evil 4 Remake ran like shit. Star Wars ran like shit. Gollum, Redfall. I mean, this is just off the top of my head. I'm not even trying. And these are the games in the last 6 months that all run like shit. And we're all still buying. Right? Like, what the frick? And you know, another thing is that sometimes we kind of just give them a pass. Like, for example, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Everyone collectively agrees those games run like shit and shouldn't be in that state, but it's the best-selling Pokemon game of all time. Did you hear what I just said? Ladies and gentlemen, I clicked the wrong thing. The best-selling Pokemon game of all time is one of the worst running. So what does that set as a precedent for these game developers? Do you really think they're actually going to work and put effort into pumping this out better? No, you just padded their pockets, you know? So, yeesh. This is a bad state this industry is in, because it didn't used to be like this. But ever since all these patches are now digital and come after the fact, it's enabling the bad behavior. And that's not good, you know? What do we do? Well, honestly, you want to know what we do? Here's what people need to start doing. Stop buying games on release day. Okay? Seriously. We got to stop buying games on release day. Alright? Because this is what's causing the problems. Alright? When you rush and buy a game on release day before those reviews come out and before you see anyone play it, you don't know what you're getting. But as soon as, you know, that information is out there, you know, don't reward the bad behavior of a company that rushed out a game that's a piece of dog shit. Right? Seriously. And I just hate to say it, like, people buy so much into hype. Day one release day hype. They want to be a part of the experience, right? That's really what it is. There's this cultural mentality that when it's a new release day, you want to be part of that release day experience. You want to feel welcomed and part of a movement, part of a community, part of a viral thing on the internet. And it has you feel like you have an identity and you belong somewhere, right? I get that. I totally get that. I've been bought up into that as well. But being a 15-year YouTuber, it's diminished down to the point now where I really don't give a shit if I play a game on release day or not. Because half the time these games are so bad that it's just a laughable joke to be playing them on release day. And you might say, well, Phil, this is hypocritical. Don't you play all these games on release day? Well, yeah, but it's my job. That's a difference. I'm not a common consumer who's picking and choosing and saying, oh, I can only buy one game in a 3-month span. I'm going to rush out and buy this game on release day because I'm into the hype of the game. That's not me. This is my job to play these games and to cover them. And if they suck, to show you how bad they suck, right? A ton of people have outright said to me, Phil, thank you for playing Star Wars because when you showed us Jedi Survivor and how bad it runs, I didn't buy the game. I said I was going to get it. But once I saw how bad it was on release day for you, I laid back and I didn't play it. Good. And if I can do a public service to you guys by playing these games on release and showing you how bad they are, that's my job. You understand? But I'm the exception to the rule because that's my job to do this. You guys should not be out there wasting your money on dog shit. When you waste your money on dog shit, you enable more dog shit to be made. And when I see games like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet becoming the best selling of all time, when it's obviously one of the most poorly optimized and running, that's sad. That means there's a huge problem. You understand? Man, it sucks. This whole thing is a slippery slope, you know? And Gollum game developers coming out and apologize, they might as well not. Like, do you think anyone cares? The game's a mess. No one's going to buy it now. You fucked yourself, right? So, don't even bother apologizing. Just close the fucking, you know, close the doors, fire the management, start over. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. I'm tired of seeing this shit. And now, here's the thing. June. Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16. The big three. There's going to be more games in June, but those are the big three. So help me God. These games better run well, and these games better be good, man. If these games fucking come out and they are buggy messes and pieces of dog shit, dude, that would be 6 straight months of games releasing broken. 6. That would be atrocious. So I seriously hope that these games end up releasing well. Bruzy says, well, this is what I like about Diablo 4. They had 2 early access betas. Right. Street Fighter 6? Absolutely. Had 2 closed betas, 1 open beta, and a World Tour beta. So you would think, with all of that, they had enough time to optimize the game, right? You would think. Seriously, you gotta have, like, your fingers crossed, your arms crossed, your fucking toes crossed. Dude, cross your fucking ass hairs and nose hairs if you have them. You know? At this point, it's like you got to be lucky to get a good game at release day. Anyway, I think I've gone on enough about this game. Okay? Let's continue. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, which was supposed to be released 2 years ago, is once again completely scrapped, and they are remaking it from the ground up. They just rebooted and have started back from the conception phase. Yes. Remember, this game was supposed to come out like 2 years ago? I don't know what's going on with this game. It's a freaking remake. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not even like they're making a totally new game from the ground up. It's a remake of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, yet they can't get this game off the ground. I don't know what's going on with this game. But you know what? Good. Do you want to know why I'm saying good? Because we just talked about Lord of the Rings Gollum. I would much rather have the Sands of Time remake be rebooted, restarted, and then come out good than just come out and be a piece of shit. So, good. Let them do this from the ground up as a fresh game, a good game, and please let it be good. Enough with the unfinished nonsense, right? The other news story is that there is a new Alone in the Dark game coming out. Okay? It is coming out in October. I believe they said it was near the end of October. I had the release date written, and for some reason it's gone. Where did it go? I had it down here. It's gone now. I think it's late October. I want to say it's like October 27th, but I could be wrong. It's starring David Harbour of Stranger Things and Jodie Comer. Who is Jodie Comer? Let me find who that is. I want to see who that is. Jodie Comer, actress. English actress, born in Liverpool. Let's see what she's been in, if I recognize her. I don't really recognize her. I don't think I've seen her in anything. Filmography. She was in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker as a cameo. She was in Free Guy, The Last Duel, The End We... Oh, and then movies I've never seen. And on TV, she was on Doctors, Good Cop, Causality, Law and Order UK, My Big Fat Diary, Remember Me, Lady Shitter. I don't know what any of these are. They're probably all British, huh? Alright, so I have no idea who she is. I've never heard of her. No wonder I don't recognize her. So, but anyway, so you got David Harbour, like I said, the cop from Stranger Things, and her as the leads in a horror game called Alone in the Dark. Now, a weird thing about this is I have no idea what this game's going to be like because there's already been many different iterations and reboots of Alone in the Dark over the years. I played one early on in my YouTube career that was an Xbox 360 game, and it sucked ass. It was really bad. I finished it barely. I liked it for its horror theme, but the gameplay elements were bad. It was actually, speak of the devil, yes, almost 15 years ago, it was a completely unpolished, buggy game, I remember. So, this game could be good or not. What's actually funny, though, is they actually have a demo, supposedly. But it's not really a demo. It's supposed to be just like a playable preview that came out. And it just hit stores like the digital stores today or yesterday. And it came out of nowhere. And if this were any other time, I might be interested to check it out. But as you guys know, I'm in a time crunch right now to try to finish up everything I can finish before Street Fighter 6. So sadly, I can't take the time to play it. I'd be interested in it. But what's funny about this now is that we've got multiple horror games lining up for October. We now have Alan Wake 2, I think October 17th. And now we have Alone in the Dark around October 27th, I think they're saying. So we actually have a bunch of horror games in October, which is cool. That's obviously the right time for it. So, yeah, it's cool to hear. I just don't know if the game's going to be any good. Obviously, I'd like to follow it along a little bit more and talk a little bit more about it over time. But, there you go. Guys, I'm just going to say this. I don't know why people aren't listening. If you want to be unbanned from the channel, you have to email me your YouTube channel. Okay? You have to email me the link to your YouTube channel. Not oh, this my name on YouTube is this. Now, oh, here's an app, whatever. No. I need your actual YouTube channel. Just email me the link to it. Because if you email me the link to your YouTube channel, I can click on it in the email. It brings me right to my app, and I can unban immediately. If you're just sending me, oh, it's the name. You want me to go in my app and search through a fucking ton of YouTube channels for your name and find the right channel? It's never going to happen. Okay? And the at shit, you can't even easily just click on that and have it go to YouTube either. I need the URL to your YouTube channel. Send me that. I'll click on it. I'll unban you right away. I keep getting people emailing me saying I want unbans, but they're not emailing me the URL. So I can't unban you. It's too annoying. It's too time consuming. And half the time I can't even get it to work anyway. I search for you and I can't find you. Send me the goddamn link. Alone in the Dark is October 25th. Thank you, Matt. I'm going to put that on my calendar right now. Okay. Wow, October's stacked. So now we've got Assassin's Creed Mirage on the 12th, Alan Wake 2 on the 17th, and Alone in the Dark on the 25th. We're getting a stacked-ass October already, and we're only in freaking May, right? And keep in mind, Summer Game Fest is right around the corner. The Xbox event's right around the corner. Okay. All right. Those are the news stories I have for today. So, folks, let's get to shout-outs. Let's see what you guys have on your minds today. We start off today with Music Biz Marty, who did a super chat and says, Wile E. Coyote super chat is trying to do one, but it's not working. He cash apped me $5 to send to you. I don't believe that. I don't know where Wile E. Coyote is, if they're even here or banned. I have no idea. But thank you to Music Biz Marty for the super chat. Then he did a second super chat and said, Alive and well in Israel, sent me $1.75 in Bitcoins. So here's 25 cents on me. Thanks for the super chat. I still don't know what you're talking about. The Villain has re-upped his membership at the super supporter level. Thank you to the Villain. I appreciate you being an ongoing supporter of the channel, and thank you for the renewal of your membership. And it actually looks like it counted as a new membership, so I'm actually going to count that towards our total for today. It's weird because I swear you've been a member before, but it didn't count it as a renewal. Maybe yours had lapsed and you're just renewing it today as a fresh one. So there you go. Okay. Continuing on. Let's get to the tip side of things, because we have quite a few tips to shout out this morning. Our first tip of the day is, let's see here, a $2 tip. So here we go. It's Captain James T. Kirk saying, I think I got banned for no reason. Again, I don't know why, if or why you did. It certainly wasn't me if you did get banned, and I would unban you, but I need your link, and it looks like he just sent me the link. Okay. So hopefully you're unbanned now. See how easy that is? If you just send me the link. Oh, wait. Is it different? I clicked on... Oh, there's two different people emailing me at the same time to be unbanned. Captain James Tiberius Kirk, you're not banned. I just clicked. You're not banned at all. You're not. So if you can't talk in the chat, it has nothing to do with me. It has something to do with YouTube. But you are not banned. I just checked. Yep. So I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So anyway, thanks for the $2 tip. But I tried to unban you and you're not banned. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of people have been mentioning this recently, right? They've actually been saying that for some reason they can't talk on YouTube chat, but it's not me doing it. It might be YouTube itself or something that gets your text blocked. I don't know what it is, but it ain't me, because you're not banned on my channel, man. Okay. I got a $1 tip from James. Is play Metroid Fusion on the Nintendo Switch for the chill late night streams. I would love to play Metroid Fusion. In fact, that's one of the ones that I played back in the day. Was it the Game Boy Advance? It was, I believe. That's what it originally was for, right? I played that. I loved it. Many years ago. In the 2000s, I played it. So, I would love to do that for you guys at some point. Now, I can't do it now. Right now, we are pushing through games. We've got a ton of new games in June. What I'd say is, when you have ideas like this, keep them in mind and recommend them when we get to downtime. You know during the summertime, we're going to have a lot of downtime. You know we're going to get to a point where we're getting through all these other games, and things are going to slow down, and that's when we're looking for these late-night chill streams, and that's when we should look for this kind of stuff. Right now, we just finished Oblivion. We're going to get through Final Fantasy V, and then we're not going to have time for late-night chill streams. We're going to be balancing the other new releases, so. Okay. I received another $1 tip. And it's a troll. So I ignore them. I received a $5 tip from Guitar Player. How are you doing, Guitar Player? Let's see what he has to say, but let's get him on the leaderboard first. It's our first animation of the day, by the way. So thank you, Guitar Player, for that. Shut up and take my money. Love that meme. One of my favorite memes of all time. Shut up and take my money. Thank you very much, Guitar Player. All right. Let's see what Guitar Player has to say. I started playing Death Stranding this morning. I played about 2 hours. 1 hour was just cutscenes. I still have almost no idea what's going on. Yeah. It's one of those games. It's a Hideo Kojima game, man. You're going to have those vibes for a while. You're going to have a lot of lingering questions. Things will slowly start to unfold over the course of the game. You'll start to understand the plot when you get much further in. I will tell you this. Unlike a lot of other games, the game actually explains everything by the end. It does. And I actually liked the ending of the game. Even though it was one of those games that was like confusing during the game, the ending, I was like, I get it. And I really liked the ending. I saw what Kojima was going for. I understand why the game is how it is. I don't like the gameplay. I really don't. But I loved the story. Like I said, I would absolutely love to see Mr. Kojima-san, make movies or TV shows or something. I think that would be amazing. Because the narrative of the game is great once you get to the end, in my opinion. So, what I would say is stick with it, although understand, you're going to be going through dozens of hours of boring gameplay. You're going to have to fucking be delivering packages over rocky terrain, and it's a pain in the ass to get over it. You're going to be building highways and driving annoying vehicles. You know, it's not great gameplay. You know, I don't think he was going for that. But the story is outstanding. Okay. Let's continue. I received a $4.20 tip from an anonymous tipper, and they want to vent. So let's let them vent in a second. But first, let's get a nice, cool 420 animation, man. Yes, man. Chill and relax here on DSPGaming. I don't know where that came from, but there you go. Now I'm going to get in big trouble. Anyway, an anonymous tipper says, I'm so tired of these game companies apologizing for bad and broken release games. It's such a weird ongoing problem. I miss when most games were polished and playable. Yeah, it's like I said, if you go back 10 years, the years like 2012, 2013, 2014, these were insane years where like, it was like hit after hit after hit, banger after banger after banger. I know that's the meme now, you say banger. Just so much good stuff back to back. And, you know, you could... seriously, go look at the game release schedules for like 2012, 13, and 14. And you're going to be like, oh my god, all those games released, those great games released in close proximity to each other? Yes, and all those games were great games. You know? And that's the difference between today and then, is like today, yeah, there's tons of games coming out, and most of them end up being junk when they're released. Maybe eventually they become better, but yeah, it's annoying. It seems like definitely there's been an insane change in philosophy of game developers and publishers, and just the quality of game releases in general has dipped. That's not good. It's just not. It's not good. You want quality over quantity. I would much rather have 12 insanely good, amazing gameplay experiences, one a month, all year long, than have 100 games that came out, and out of those, 5 were good. And again, Jedi Survivor is the textbook case of this, where the game actually is good, but the implementation is poor, and it ruins the entire gameplay experience to the point where you don't want to play it anymore. That's pathetically sad. You've ruined a great game by rushing it out unpolished. Okay. Let's continue. I received another $1 tip here. And, so an anonymous tipper says, hold on, you should buy hard copies of the games. If you're unhappy with them, you can trade them in and get some return in exchange. Buying digitally holds you back from getting money back with games you're unhappy with. You are correct. I will agree with you on this aspect of it. At least you get something back for a stinker if you bought the physical game. For now. But this is on the way out. I've already said this. I really do feel the era of physical games is ending. Take a look at Alan Wake 2. They've outright said we're just doing digital. Right? This is the beginning of the end for physical games. Game publishers and developers don't want to be releasing these games, and the insane amount of production cost to make a disc and a box and artwork and push those out logistically to the stores, when someone could just literally go, I want to buy this now, boop, and buy it off the internet and get it downloaded to their console, right? Is it a collector's item? Yes. Is the game even on the disc? No. You put the game in your console, now the console prompts the online download to download the same game you would have downloaded if you bought it digitally anyway. Really, the only value you get out of a physical disc today is trade-in value, all right? So if you're looking for the absolute best situation, yes, buying the physical game will at least defray some of the cost of a bad game if you bought it and it sucks. At the same time, the whole point here is not to try to make the best of the situation. The point here is to fix the situation and have the bad game not be released in that state to begin with, right? I don't think that having trade-in value is going to save the games industry from bad games. You understand? That's not the point we're talking about. I understand what you're saying. You're making a valid point that, yes, you can get some money back if you bought it physically. But the point I'm making is it shouldn't be shitty to begin with. Okay. Let's continue. Excuse me. Man. So, Zero has tipped me $1, and here is Zero's advice. Zero has advice for me. So let's see what Zero has to say. But first, I got to add the $1 before I forget. Zero's advice is as follows. Wait to play Diablo until midsummer. Things will slow down. With Street Fighter coming out, which is what you are mostly known for, I feel lots of people are going to want to watch you play that. It's also the most logical decision given all the other games that you're still playing. I tend to agree with you, but did you see how many people in the chat this morning were kind of yelling at me, saying play Diablo? Hence, the conundrum of being who I am. Do I drop the games I'm playing and only play Diablo and Street Fighter in June? Do I not play Diablo and play Street Fighter and balance it with a little bit of Zelda and Final Fantasy? Do I play everything and then a lot of games don't get played enough? How much do you play each certain game? Do I try and then if one fails, drop it? But that just upsets a whole new group of people? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You can't please everyone all the time. And when you're a variety content creator like me, there's just no big answer. All right? There's none. Actually, I take it back. I've come to a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. I've come to a decision this morning. I was thinking about this really hard overnight, and I've finally determined my future, my roadmap for success. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. I, Darkside Phil, am becoming a full-time Foam Stars streamer. So from now on, I'm going to wear all the outfits. I'm going to be squirting foam constantly in the office, in the game. Foam everywhere, splurting and squirting. Foam Stars forever. Foam Stars for life. Okay. Anyway, I received a super chat from Brocky. Thank you, Brocky, for a super chat. I appreciate that. Let's get you on the leaderboard as the latest super chatter. Thank you, thank you. You know what's funny is it seems like you guys have some significant delay today, but you want to know why you have significant delay on the stream? Because right when I started, before I came on camera, there was a little bit of lag in the internet, and it caused about 800 frames to drop. And if you do the math, 800 frames is about 12 seconds. And it's funny, because when I'm talking, you guys are actually reacting to what I'm saying about 12 seconds later than usual. So that little bit of lag actually caused a 12-second delay on the stream. Huh. Interesting. Anyway. Foam Star Phil. Correct. FSP. Foam Star Phil. Restart the stream. We could do that. What I could do, if you guys didn't want to be 12 seconds delayed. When I finished with the podcast, I could stop the stream and restart the stream, and with a manual reboot, it may get things caught back up again. We'll see. All right, so guys, that's what I got to talk about today. I've done all the shout-outs for things that I have so far. So whatever you guys like to discuss, toss a question into the chat my way. Tag me in the chat. Let's see what you guys want to discuss today. Ooh did a super chat. Says the foam star bit is funny enough to give you money. Laughing my ass off. Really? I wasn't, but that wasn't a joke. I think foam stars is the way to go. I mean, shit. If Splatoon can get that level of popularity, can you imagine what foam stars is going to do? Right? People are going to go nuts. I mean, foam stars actually have like real people in it, although they do kind of look like anime-ish, right? But real people just squirting liquid foam everywhere, covering every orifice of everyone's body, filling every little nook and cranny with foam. I'm just saying. I don't know what they're thinking with these games, but they're making them, and people are buying them and playing them, and there's communities around them. There really are. I'm not joking. I'm serious about this. Anyway, people are talking about David Lynch stuff. Yeah, David Lynch, I saw, Twin Peaks and the Twin Peaks movies. I've seen a couple other David Lynch movies, too. They're pretty weird, though. Tyler, good morning. How's it going today? It's good to have you here. Bruzy, no, I didn't actually watch the PlayStation Showcase, so I couldn't be disappointed by it. All I did was I followed the individual stories from the PlayStation Showcase and covered them here. So, there you go. Expand Dog says, maybe Foam Stars will be better than Splatoon, like how you enjoyed Dreamlight more than Animal Crossing and Multiverses more than Smash. Maybe. Maybe. Then again, that assumes I'm going to buy the game, which I'm not. If it's free, I'll play it, but there's no way I'm buying Foam Stars. So. Have I thought about getting a Tesla? No, I'm not rich. I can't afford a Tesla. If I was rich, I would maybe get one. Especially out here, they're trying to get everyone to have either hybrids or full electric cars. And we don't drive long distances, so we could have an electric car if we wanted to. But no, I don't have money for a Tesla. There's no way I would ever afford it. It's insanely expensive. Foam Stars is a good channel name. Jade says, I don't know if I love Diablo. I'd love to see Street Fighter, but I hate Star Wars right now. Oh, we're aware. You can't even watch it, man. I feel so bad about that. 672 says, I got an email from GameStop telling me Power Up Rewards Pro is now changing to GameStop Pro. Are you psyched like me? I have not had a pro membership at GameStop in about 6-7 years. Basically, when I stopped buying physical games. And the last physical game I bought was Divinity... Was it Divinity 2? I can't even remember what it was. But that was off Amazon. The last physical game I bought from a store was... what's the Switch fighting game with springs? What's the name of that one? That no one, the game that sucked and no one played it. I can't remember what it was called. That was the last physical game I actually bought from a store. I take it back. I did actually also own Zelda Breath of the Wild on Wii U. Okay. And actually my latest physical game that I own is one that I did not buy but was donated. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion on the Switch. But I didn't buy it. It was donated to me. So this is like the last physical one I have. So I haven't been to a GameStop. Dude, I couldn't even tell you the last time I was in a GameStop. It's just so sad how culture and everything changed over, how GameStop became completely obsolete. When I was a YouTuber when I started, this was a place that I was frequenting 1 to 2 times a week. And every time I was in there, I was dropping hundreds of bucks on games. And now there's literally not a single reason to step foot inside of a GameStop at all. It's just a junk store. What a joke. So, I don't know anything about the rewards. I haven't been a part of the rewards. I'm not going to be a part of the rewards. So, there you go. By the way, think I'll ever play this? Release day unboxing. Look. There's a little thing in here. Okay, that was release day unboxing of Crisis Core. Do you see why I don't do this show anymore? That's why. Release day unboxing. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. That's the end of the video. That's why we don't do it. Well, how gaming has changed since I've been a YouTuber. Release day unboxing used to be a hype event. You go to the store, you buy the physical game, you come home, you read everything, you unbox it. There's all kinds of shit on the inside. There's artwork. There's an instruction booklet. You get hype for the game, reading it. Like, what is this? Why are there even, see these plastic tabs? What are these for? There's nothing in there. What the fuck are these even for? What is this here? What is this? What is this? What is that for? What the, here's your game. Here you go. By the way, the game's probably not even on there, right? You probably got to download it. Anyway, if you guys ever want to see this, it's up to you. You let me know. Maybe we'll play it. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Anyway. All right. I received a $1 tip from Dan the Man. Why is it safe to eat raw meat but not chicken with a little bit of pink? Well, first of all, chicken is meat. You're getting confused. It is safe to eat certain kinds of raw meat and not others. Why? Because of bacteria. Certain kinds of raw meat does not contain certain dangerous bacteria while others commonly do. For example, is it dangerous to eat raw beef? Well, there are some risks involved, but the risks of eating raw beef are incredibly low compared to the risks of, say, eating raw chicken. Because raw chicken can be infected with salmonella, which is a very, very bad thing to have in a human body. That bacteria can be dangerous and or deadly. So you don't want salmonella in your body. You want to cook your chicken. As opposed to, if you eat raw beef, chances are you're not going to get any deadly thing or bacteria in your body that's going to be too risky. And so it's fine as long as it's under the correct conditions. If you're eating raw beef that's been sitting out for 2 days on a countertop, it probably has all kinds of bacteria and you're going to get sick regardless. You see? That's the difference. Okay. Dan the Man says that was not him, so someone impersonated you. Well, that's horrible. And whoever did that, you're a jerk. Don't impersonate other people. Okay. I received a $2 tip from Hotel Dude. He says, I'm looking forward to your Street Fighter 6 streams. Will you do battles with your community or play multiplayer? That would be cool if we could get a DSP lobby going. I actually explained this, when was it? Yesterday? Okay, since we're doing this on the podcast, I should do it, because I think I did this off of the podcast, and so not everyone heard the answer. This is a good time to answer this question. Thank you, Hotel Dude, for the tip. So here's the deal, all right? Street Fighter 6 comes out 1 week from today. I am very hyped for it, by the way. I know you guys are too, okay? Here's how I'm going to cover it. I am going to be taking certain characters into training mode, messing around a little bit with them, trying to learn some basic strategies and combos, then taking them online and trying them in a competitive environment. I will also, at the same time, be juggling the single-player World Tour mode, okay? Oh, look, there's Dan the Man, and then there's the Dan Man. That's why. There's a guy named Dan the Man, and then there's a guy named the Dan Man. So that's where the confusion is coming in. They're two completely separate chatters with similar names. So there you go. So Dan the Man, crisis averted, there's no one impersonating you. It's just different names in a different order. Okay. I probably read the name incorrectly then. Okay. Okay, anyway. Getting back to the comment Hotel Dude made. I'm going to be doing typical things I would do with a fighting game. Plus, I'm also going to try doing the story mode, World Tour. Making my own character, which I've already made in the demo. So we're just going to carry that character over. Doing the combat in the streets, leveling up with trainers, and doing all that content, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this up front. I said this on a stream the other day, but it wasn't on the podcast. Allow me to explain fully here. Would I like to do community nights where people from the streams can join me in a lobby and we can play each other? Yes. Would I like to eventually do maybe a members only night where members only can join me? Yes. Those are things that I could possibly viably do, okay? However, I don't feel like we should be promising anything until the game is out and has had a significant amount of time to be tested and played, because I must cite Street Fighter V as an example. When Street Fighter V released, I put a lot of eggs into one basket. I told you guys it was going to be a major focus of mine, that I was very excited to jump into it. I loved Street Fighter 4 at launch. It was a great game. I can't wait to play Street Fighter 5. Everyone was so hyped and excited for Street Fighter 5. And what ended up happening was when Street Fighter 5 released, it was a broken mess. It didn't work online for like 3 straight days. When it finally started working, the connections were atrociously bad and dropped constantly. The game was a piece of dog shit. And it took about 2 to 3 months for everyone to realize the game had the most lag of any competitive Street Fighter ever made. And it took them a year or more to finally update and patch the game to even be fun to play online in any capacity. Okay? So, the last thing I want to do, and you guys know this is a pet peeve of mine, when someone overpromises and under-delivers. I fucking hate when people do that. Why promise everyone the world, announce something, say it's coming, and then you don't live up to it, right? The last thing I want to do to you guys is say, hey guys, yes, we're absolutely going to do community nights and multiplayer nights with viewers and members, and we're going to do special events based on Street Fighter 6 and all that. And then the game comes out, and it's broken, and it's buggy, and it's a piece of shit, and it's unbalanced, and no one likes it. It's dog shit. I don't want to do that. What I'd like to do is a wait-and-see attitude. I'm already committing to playing it at launch for a bit. We're going to explore it together, you know, for about a week or two. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to see what happens. Now, if the game is good, then absolutely, positively, yes, I would love to do nights with you guys, maybe once or twice a week on a late night stream. It's time to play, everyone. Let's do it. What I could do is maybe one night, it's just a lobby, and I give everyone the password to the lobby on the stream. Anyone can join with the password. And then maybe another night, it's a members only. So I post up a thread, right? And the thread says, hey, here are the members only thread, correct? On a community tab of the channel. And say, hey, members only, here's the password. If you're a member and you have this password, you can join the lobby and we can play each other, right? So there's all these different things we could do to make it work. But again, not unless it actually works. And I'm not going to waste my time promising the world to you and then disappointing you. Instead, let's play the game. Let's see what it is for a week or two, essentially. Let's test it out. If it's great and it works well and you guys are into it and everyone's liking it, I would be 100% on board with doing those kind of nights with you guys, okay? But we have to see. And the thing is, the game's cross-platform, too. I don't know how it's going to work, the cross-platform ability, if you'll be able to join a lot. Like, let's say you have it on PC and I have it on Xbox, or you have it on PS5 and I have it on Xbox. Will you be able to join my lobby? I don't know how that works. I don't think anyone does because it hasn't been tested yet, right? So I guess we'll see what happens. Now, if Street Fighter 6 is a game that I like a lot, I will keep it in the rotation. We'll have Friday night fights where every Friday night I'll probably be doing Street Fighter 6 lobbies, probably just randomly against people on the internet. And then if it continues and you guys like it, I can even have it as an ongoing thing for members or viewers, whatever. Let's see. But let's play it by ear and let's play it safe. I really do. After being burned with Street Fighter 5 so badly, I absolutely don't want to be risking that kind of shit with Street Fighter 6. It's just not worth the risk of trusting these guys to pump out a game that's going to be worth playing when they fucked it up so bad with Street Fighter 5. Okay? So let's find out. I know it's a different dev team now. That dev team that made Street Fighter 5 essentially doesn't make this game anymore. It's a new team that came in halfway through the development of Street Fighter 5 and took over the reins. So maybe we can actually trust them. I guess we're about to find out, right? Hello, Juan David Ortega. Okay, so that's your answer, hotel guy. Or hotel dude, excuse me. I'm absolutely considering it. I would love doing that. Let's play it by ear. Let's see how it goes and judge it as it comes out and go from there. We got a week to wait. 1 week to get through until Street Fighter 6 and then the hype begins, right? All right. Okay, excuse me. Do I remember being a GameStop customer getting the game magazines? Yes, Game Informer. Absolutely. That was always one of the things you got when you were a pro member. Darth Globach, how you doing? He said, it's my day off today. I can hang out for Zelda. Sounds good. Good to have you here. No, 672, I don't want your early copy of Street Fighter 6. Anso Camaro says, what makes Splatoon great and popular is not just gameplay, the music, the lore, the clothes style, and the great characters. Foam Stars won't be better on gameplay alone. Okay. Fair enough. Hello, Ghost. Greetings. Joe Millionaire says, the benefits of playing with a member, maybe there'll be a lower risk of them being the hackers. I mean, maybe. The thing is, as you know, most people in my community are not competitive fighting game players. Let's be honest, because I've been out of competitive fighting games for the longest time. Anyone who was kind of a competitive fighting game player who was a big fan of mine kind of moved on. And I understand that totally. There's a few exceptions here or there, but for the most part, yeah, the fighting game community moved on from watching my content because I didn't really care that much about the competitive nature of fighting games anymore. Moved on to being a variety streamer and a variety content creator. So, gotcha. We'll see what happens. Actually, Ramrod, no. The GameStops that I used to go to regularly did not smell bad. He says his used to smell bad. Mine did not. Mine always smelled pretty good. Pretty clean. How confident am I in Starfield? On a confidence scale of 0 to 10, I've got a belief that the game will be good, about a 2 out of 10. From what we've seen. However, keep in mind, it's coming up, right? The digital event is the 12th? 13th? I have it down here. The Microsoft digital event is coming. That's going to be both Microsoft and... Here it is. The 11th. June 11th. It's the Xbox Game Showcase paired with the Starfield Showcase. So, I guess we'll see. By the way, Captain Kirk, yeah, as you can see, I couldn't unban you because you're not banned, so I don't know why you can't talk. I wonder what it is that caused you to not be able to talk in the chat, but it ain't me. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird and it's wild. And it's stuff. By the way, I should also say this. If you have requested to be unbanned like 10 times and I still didn't unban you, it's probably because I don't think you should be unbanned. There's people who literally just keep emailing me every day to be unbanned, and I'm not doing it because they're jerks. They've had repeated infractions and repeated, insults and intent. They're just idiots. And then they keep, oh, can I get unbanned? No, that's not the point of getting unbanned. The point of getting unbanned is maybe you got banned once and it was either a mistake or maybe it was a momentary lapse in judgment and I'm like, okay, it's fine, I'll let you back. If you've been unbanned 3-4 times already and you ask for the 5th time, I'm not unbanning you. In fact, I'm just going to block your email at this point. Okay? Destiny Warrior has done a super chat. Thank you so much, Destiny Warrior. He says, Phil, do you remember Dragon's Dogma? But get ready for the second one. It might be good. Oh, yes, I remember it. And I actually loved Dragon's Dogma. My viewers didn't. I played the entirety of the game, grinded it out. This was before I was a streamer. Okay. That is not how you spell warrior. There we go. This was before I was a streamer. And, I really enjoyed doing a long-form playthrough of the game, okay? But, didn't really catch on my audience, I remember back then. People just thought it was kind of alright. First, they had good views, and then it kind of tapered off because of the nature of the game and what it was. But I think that would be a great game for late-night chill streams, where we're relaxing together, and I'm running around hunting monsters with my party and leveling up and doing dungeons and stuff. That would be that kind of a game. It's not like a mainstream daytime game. That's more of a chill-style game, I think. It should be fun. But I'm looking forward to the sequel. I think it'll be good. I received a $2 tip from 000. Can I be a DSP Reacts member and join Street Fighter 6 lobbies? I don't want to be a DSP Gaming member just for Street Fighter 6 lobbies. So, I know this might be a little tough. I have to explain the concept of separate YouTube channels, okay? So, for example, DSP Gaming is the channel where I do all my gameplay-related projects and this podcast. DSP Reacts is where I do my weekly react show, long-form reacts, reviews, food vlogs, and that kind of content. Completely separated, really, from any kind of gaming content, you understand? Sometimes we'll rank games and things in a tier maker, but it's not actual gaming. Anything that's gaming-related is on DSP Gaming, hence the name DSP Gaming. That's the point. That's why it's named that. You understand? So, if you become a member here, no, your features don't carry over to DSP Reacts. If you become a member on DSP Reacts, no, your features don't carry over to DSP Gaming. They're separate YouTube channels with separate features, separate perks, and everything separate. That's the point. So, You might have to choose between, or become a member on both if you want the features of both channels. That's how it works. That'd be like saying, well, I don't get it. If I go to KFC and I buy the bucket of chicken, do I also get the chalupa from the Taco Bell because it's the same business? No. You bought the bucket of chicken, so you got the bucket of chicken. They didn't also hand you a chalupa from the other side. You get one or the other. That's what you got. If you want the chalupa, you go to that side of the counter and you buy the chalupa. You see? Now, some people would take the fried chicken out of the bucket and put it into the chalupa and try to eat it. That's disgusting. There's bones in there. What are you? You're sicko. Don't do that. Anyway, so the answer is no. It will not carry over. They are separate features. Okay. Kevin Bernstein has done a super chat. Can I suggest doing what Osmongold does? Do ban appeals on stream. It would make content for the time it takes to deal with something. No. I don't have enough time to do what I want to do on stream. I don't want to waste time unbanning people live on stream like that. It's my judgment if I want to unban someone or not. It should not be a community decision, because all will happen is all the trolls will always vote to see their friends unbanned, and they'll have like infinite ban immunity, while others never will. So the answer is no. The answer is no. And I'll think about it one more time. Maybe if I consider it very closely, no. We're not going to do that. Sorry about that. Okay. We got some tips here. A $2 tip has come in from Anso Kamaru. He says, I'm an ex-competitive fighting game player too. It'll be really cool to get a chance to battle you in Street Fighter 6. I mainly played in tournaments in BlazBlue, Alpha 3, Street Fighter 4, and Tekken. My jury is coming for you. Likely you're better than me. Seriously, I haven't been in a competitive mode of fighting games in a very long time. So for me to try to actually get competitive at any fighting game is going to be a daunting task when I'm out of practice for as long as I have been. With the exception of playing classic games like Super Turbo or Third Strike online, I haven't really played anything. So the truth is, you will likely whoop my butt. But I'm hoping that I will at least play enough that I will get a basic understanding of everything and at least be able to hang a little bit. But that's, my goal is not to be competitively good. It's just to have fun and make good content for you guys. So, okay, I received a $5.50 tip from an anonymous tipper. So this is actually, the top tip of the day is actually anonymous right now. Thank you for that. And they said, their suggestion is these people who are trying to talk and saying they can't, but then you checked and they're not banned, did they accidentally unsubscribe to the channel? Because the channel is sub only. I mean, that's a good suggestion. I mean, I didn't even think of that. Remember, guys, my channels are sub only to stop bot accounts from trolls coming in and being disgusting and spamming really insulting stuff. So that could be what it is. If maybe you accidentally unsubscribe to the channel and you got to resub for 24 hours to talk, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Did I play Metal Gear Solid 1? Yes, I did. Did I do 2 playthroughs of it? At this point, I can't even remember. I know I played it at least once. I don't know if I ever played it a second time. But I know I played it at least once to its entirety back in the day. A long time ago. So. Alright. Anso Kamaru says, don't worry, I'm out of practice too. You're probably better than me. I don't know about that. I've really been out of the major modern Street Fighter loop for a very long time. I feel like it's going to take me a long time to get used to modern Street Fighter. I really do. I'm missing out on a lot. Yes, Jade. I know you said you were going to be playing Street Fighter for yourself and trying to learn it. And yes, I'd be happy to have you if we do these community nights or members nights or whatever it may be. I'd be happy to have you on there in the rotation and play against you. We'll have to see what happens if, like I said, I hope the game's good. I hope that we could do that and have those nights and get to that point. But again, I'm not going to overpromise and underdeliver. I want to see if the game is good first. So, yes, they did. Apparently, there was a duplication glitch in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and they apparently patched it today. So the duplication glitch has been fixed, and people can't cheat anymore. It's good to know. I don't care. I wasn't going to use it anyway. I didn't even know what it was. You guys had mentioned it on streams. When I was playing the game, you had mentioned that there was a dupe glitch. And I was like, oh, great. All right, guys. Last chance. If anyone has a last-minute question, concern, comment, contribution, anything here. Let's get it out of the way. I'm going to go on a brief break, and then we're going to jump into Zelda. I just received a generous tip of $15 from Jinx. He says, I watched your On-Demand Oblivion last night. Wow, what an ending. I know, I liked the ending. I actually really liked the ending. Looking forward to some Zelda today. You should definitely play Diablo 4. If it's hard to decide, you should do a poll either in a stream or on the community tab. Just a thought. Yeah, let's see what happens over the next week. Let's all talk about it. Let's discuss. Let's see what people are feeling. And go from there. Alright? You know what? One thing I'm going to suggest, everyone? Street Fighter likely will, at the very least, Street Fighter is going to be a big thing on my stream for at least a week or two, if not longer. I would hope longer. I would hope Street Fighter ends up being really good, Street Fighter 6. If anyone has any ideas, I'd like to submit Street Fighter animations for the streams. I would be open to doing Street Fighter related animations for contributions. I think that would be pretty sweet if we had them. Keep in mind, I have no capability of making any kind of animations. I have no know-how, no skill, and no software to do so. But there are many of you who've made animations for me, and it's people who say all the time, I'd like to make one. This would be an ample opportunity, perhaps, if you'd like to do Street Fighter stuff for the streams. That would be pretty cool. All right, like new pop-up animations is what I'm really talking about. So. Do I think Elder Scrolls 6 will be better than Skyrim? I don't know. We don't know anything about it. When you know nothing about it, you can't make a judgment. I don't know. Will Fallout 5 be better than Fallout 4? Right? Oh. Tyler says, I'm thinking of buying Street Fighter 6 and maybe match with you. Hey, again, I'm not promising, but that's my intention. My intention is to play the game, enjoy it, get decent at it, and do that kind of community stuff. But we got to see if the game's good. Really, do you see how apprehensive I am about this game after Street Fighter 5? Because in Street Fighter 5, I was like, oh yeah, no problem, we'll do all that. Right? Like, I was totally sold and would say, oh, I'm going to do all that. And then after that, I was like, nah, I'm actually not going to trust it, right? Okay. Okay. More shout-outs. Hold on. I got $1.01. Why the hell did this just pop up? I didn't click that. I got $1.01 tip from Pizza Turtle. He says, Riddle, turn me on my side. I am everything. Cut me in half. I am nothing. What am I? Oh, God. What? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Sorry. I can't answer that one for now, but maybe later. Okay. Let's see here. I got a $25 tip from Lisa Liu saying, it's the color scheme of Street Fighter 6 reminds me of Fortnite, not the graphic. I hope it's good. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, the art style's better than Street Fighter 5. At the same time, yes, it can be a little bit jarring or alerting when you see it and you're like, uh-oh, why does this look like Fortnite? But I think overall it's not. Like, you actually look at the gameplay, graphics and everything, it looks pretty good. So, I'm not too worried at all, actually. I'm hoping it's going to look good and play good. The beta certainly did. The 2 betas that I was a part of. So, thank you for that. Because of that, Lisa Liu tip, we have now hit our first tips goal of the day, which is $67. So, thank you very much for that. Okay. Gonna glasses time, right? It's funny because I'm about to put these on and then I'm about to end the podcast and take them off to go use the bathroom. Okay. So, guys, thank you for a great show. Let's end the show here so I can go use the restroom. We get ready for Zelda. Thank you for your support so far. It's been a good show. Good variety of topics covered. I thank you very much. 1 week left until the release of Street Fighter 6, everyone. And so I hope that you're getting hype again As more information comes out about the game, I'm sure we're going to be talking about it. I can't wait to learn more about the World Tour mode. And early reviews likely will be coming out from uninformed journalists soon, which we could completely ignore, I guess. But in the meantime, thanks for watching the Level 1 podcast, and I will see you later.